The most powerful men in the world have one thing in common. They speak little and observe a lot. The more you speak, the more you reveal your intentions. And the more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. Silence is a weapon. It creates mystery, intimidates, and confuses the enemy. This is law number 4 of power. Always say less than necessary. Remember, he who controls the silence controls the game. The law of silence from the book of the 48 Laws of Power in Practice. Say less, control more. There is something in silence that words cannot explain. In the power of silence, there is a strength that few understand. The secret that the great masters know, and that we, too often, ignore. The 4th law of power is one of the most dangerous and powerful. Always say less than necessary. But why say less? Why become a silent presence? What can simple silence do for the control you exert? The mystery of silence lets one get lost in one's own thoughts how to apply. Just a heads up, we're not going to go around applying these laws to just anyone. You're not a child, and you know very well the dangers of this misused practice. You have to know how to share things. Getting back to the topic, the power of words. Talking too much is a way of exposing your intentions. By talking, you reveal your weaknesses. By revealing your weaknesses, you become vulnerable. Silence is the cloak that hides true power, an invisible shield. Steve Jobs never used too many words. He knew that by speaking less, he created more impact. When he finally spoke, his words became unforgettable because he used them strategically. Jobs' strength was in his control of communication. The strength of many other leaders lies in this control. They know that those who talk too much lose their advantage. Every word spoken is a revelation, and the more you reveal, the more you expose yourself. Silence is a power strategy. Silence in negotiations or in situations of power is not weakness, it is strategy. Imagine a head of state at a negotiating table. Every word spoken must be weighed, measured. He knows that by controlling what he says, he controls the actions of everyone around him. See silence as a resource, a pause. It gives the enemy room to make mistakes. It gives time to evaluate, to think. Silence is often more eloquent than any words. The art of speaking less. Speaking little doesn't mean being mute. It means being strategic. It means having complete control of your message. Every word you say must be precise, impactful, and above all, strategic. There's no need to say more than necessary. On a battlefield, communication is vital. But did you know that often the greatest power lies in silence? What you choose not to say can be more valuable than any spoken word. And that is the basis of law number 4 of power. Always say less than necessary. But how can silence be such a powerful weapon? How can controlling words change the course of a war? Let's understand the secret that has been used by leaders for centuries. It turns out that most great strategists aren't talking all the time. They're listening, observing. They know that silence is a vital tool for controlling what's coming. Silence is not just a pause. It's an intelligent strategy. By remaining calm and controlled, you force others to expose themselves more. This ability to observe without reacting is powerful. It puts you in control, revealing the weaknesses and intentions of others without them realizing it. In negotiations, the ability to remain silent is often the key to victory. When you stay silent while the other person rushes to fill the space, you can discern what truly matters. Silence acts like a sharp knife, cutting through lies and revealing the truth. But silence is not just an external tool. It is also an internal power. In moments of introspection and meditation, we learn to listen to ourselves. Silence, when practiced internally, strengthens our ability to make wise decisions and to maintain control of our own lives. Great leaders throughout history have mastered the art of silence. They knew that by controlling their words, they controlled the impact of their actions. True strength often comes from what is left unsaid. Silence, when properly applied, is the most powerful expression of control in leadership. Now that you understand the power of silence, the real question is, how will you use this powerful tool? Speaking less can be the key to achieving more, to reaching what you want without haste, without mistakes. Silence is the art of staying in control, of mastering situations. And are you ready to adopt silence as your main strategy? Law 4 from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power states, always say less than necessary. Applying this law in everyday life can be done simply and effectively if you understand how the power of words and silence can help you control situations. Here are some easy ways to apply this law in practice. 1. Be concise in conversations. Avoid talking too much. When you're in a conversation, especially in discussions or negotiations, try to be objective. Speaking less creates a sense of mystery and authority. This makes others want to hear more, giving you control of the situation. Practical example. If someone asks you a question at work, instead of giving a long explanation, give a short and direct answer. If necessary, pause before continuing. This will leave the other person wanting more and will focus their attention on your message. 2. Listen more than you speak. Listen actively. Often people talk too much to impress or because they feel the need to explain themselves. By listening more, you can better understand the intentions of others and gain a strategic advantage. Practical example. In meetings, instead of rushing to speak, listen attentively. Observe what others are saying. This can reveal weaknesses or opportunities that you can exploit without having to say much. 3. Use pauses to create impact. The pause as a tool. In important moments, instead of continuing to speak, pause. Silence creates tension and makes others feel uncomfortable, which can cause them to reveal more information or act in a way that favors you. Practical example. When giving a presentation or saying something important, pause for a few seconds after your words. This will allow everyone to absorb what you said, and then you can make a more strategic move. 4. Control your responses in emotional situations. Don't react impulsively. When someone provokes you or tries to pressure you, the smartest thing to do is remain silent or respond calmly and controlled. Avoid justifying yourself or giving long answers. This maintains control of the situation. Practical example. If someone at work criticizes you or asks an aggressive question, remain calm. Instead of explaining every point, say something simple and neutralize the situation with silence or a brief answer, without going into detail. 5. Avoid promising or guaranteeing something that is not certain. Don't rush to promise. When you say too much or promise too much, you put yourself in a vulnerable position. Silence helps maintain control over the expectations of others. Practical example. If someone asks you to do something difficult or uncertain, instead of rushing to promise, say that you will evaluate the situation and then get back to them. Don't commit before you are sure of what you can or cannot do. 6. Simplify your statements and demands. Reduce complexity. The more you simplify your words and intentions, the more in control you will be. This also prevents you from getting involved in unnecessary complications. Practical example: when making a request at work or in a personal conversation, be direct and clear. Avoid lengthy explanations or justifications that could weaken your position. Summary of daily application: fewer words equals more control. By speaking less, you create a sense of mystery and respect. Listening is power. Listen more than you speak. This way you learn more and can make better decisions. Pauses are your allies. Use silence strategically, pausing when necessary. Don't react immediately. Avoid responding impulsively, which often puts us in unfavorable situations. Simplify your words. Be direct and clear in your intentions without overcomplicating things. By applying this principle in your daily life, you'll begin to realize that speaking less is not weakness, but a way to be more powerful and effective.